sir.
Vehicle acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Awaiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Yes,
New
affirmative.
construction options.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Knowledge.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
New construction.
Yes, sir. Knowledge.
Building. On hold. Building.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived. New construction options. Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Vehicle, yes,
Base
knowledge.
under attack.
Vehicle reporting. Knowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Waiting orders.
Reporting. Waiting order.
Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Knowledge.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Knowledge. Reporting. Knowledge. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. 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 Knowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. 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 Knowledge.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative.
Building.
Knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting order.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Knowledge.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Knowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. No, yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Knowledge.
Building.
Affirmative. Knowledge. Reporting. Knowledge. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Knowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction
Knowledge.
complete.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Base under attack.
Waiting
Building.
order. Affirmative. 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 Knowledge. Affirmative.
Construction
Acknowledge.
complete.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Construction
Waiting order.
complete.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Awaiting orders.
Waiting order.
Reporting.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Preparing. Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Vehicle
Construction
reporting.
complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Waiting orders.
Waiting orders.
Waiting orders. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Acknowledge.
sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Preparing.
Affirmative.
Waiting. Yes, sir. Vehicle report. Yes, sir. Waiting on. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Knowledge.
Reporting.
Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. Knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
prepared.
Yes,
Base
sir.
under attack.
Awaiting order. Acknowledge.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Knowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Knowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Knowledge.
Prepared.
Acknowledge.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Building. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
prepared. Construction complete. Unit ready. Preparing. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders.
Preparing.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit prepared.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle
Preparing.
reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
sir.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building. Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Construction
Yes,
complete.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting order. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Unit prepared. Structure
Yes, sir.
sold.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Unit
Vehicle
ready.
wait. Reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Unit prepared. Building. On hold.
Vehicle
Cancel.
reporting.
Preparing.
Reporting. Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
Preparing.
Awaiting.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Preparing.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Waiting orders. Affirmative. Reporting. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building. Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Yes, sir.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Awaiting order. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Knowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge.
Report knowledge. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Waiting orders.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
Reporting. Knowledge.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Building. Building.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Preparing.
Reporting. Vehicle waiting order. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Knowledge.
Unit prepared.
Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Knowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledge.
Yes,
Affirmative.
sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge.
Waiting on.
Acknowledge.
Mission on hold.
Yes, sir. Report.
Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Mission accomplished.